Hello, guys. Hola, chicos. My name is Anna Gonzalez. I'm currently a senior at the University of Houston, hoping to graduate this upcoming fall semester. Woohoo! Class of 2018. I'm an EC through 6 generalist major. I'm excited to be an advocate for ELL students in my future classroom. Primero, déjales cuento poquito sobre mi persona y mi trayectoria como una estudiante ESL. Yo nací en una ciudad llamada San Luis Potosí, en México. Mi familia vino a los Estados Unidos cuando yo tenía solo 4 años. Yo crecí en una casa donde solo se hablaba español. Entonces, español fue el único lenguaje que yo conocía y el lenguaje que yo aprendí naturalmente. So I was not really exposed to the English language until it was finally time for me to attend public school. It was time for kindergarten. Fortunately, my aunt living here in the United States did her research and found a public school that was a little far from our neighborhood but that offered a bilingual program. My teacher and classmates welcomed me with open arms. I really felt at ease with my peers because they seemed to be just like me, learning a new language. We were all at different levels. Some kids had been more exposed to English than others, but we were all learning together. My earliest memory in the classroom is of us saying the ABCs in both Spanish and in English. We were taught to read, write, and talk in both languages. Although I already knew a lot of Spanish from home, at school I was expanding my knowledge of Spanish as well as learning English as my second language. I remember my teachers would give me tons of flashcards in order for me to develop my English vocabulary. We would also have workbooks where we would practice our writing skills in both Spanish and English. Our teachers were sure to encourage us to speak as much English as we could with our peers so that we would get lots of practice. By the end of third grade, I was tested and told it was time for me to be immersed into a classroom where the only language spoken was English. I was thrilled because to me it meant I was progressing, but I was also nervous that I was going to be surrounded by kids that weren't exactly like me, ELLs. Fortunately, though, my 4th grade teacher turned out to be amazing. She would make sure to send out notes in both in Spanish and English so that my parents were able to understand what was happening at school. And she made an effort to use any little Spanish she knew in parent-teacher meetings to make my mom feel more comfortable. My classmates were also very nice, and it was such a great experience. From that point on, I would mostly go on to speak English at school and Spanish at home, so still maintaining the Spanish language. My Spanish, however, isn't as good as it once used to be. When talking to a native Spanish speaker, I sometimes have a hard time remembering words in Spanish and have to take my time and speak more slowly. Overall, though, I can still talk, understand, read, and write in Spanish. While with native English speakers, I can speak more fluently and I feel more comfortable speaking that language. My favorite language, however, is Spanglish. I'm great at hablando los dos idiomas at the same time. My teaching philosophy revolves around a student-centered classroom. I want to be a teacher who isn't just going to teach students content, but a teacher who's going to make learning fun. I want kids to love school. I want them to enjoy the journey of learning. I loved my elementary school experience, and I think the best way for students to learn a new language is not to only present them with this new language, but to constantly practice with them, and most importantly, to relate the new language with their own cultural and language experiences. The class can help develop ELL's English skills by allowing the students to take their time saying, reading, and making mistakes, providing students with the help necessary for them to succeed. If needed, help from the teacher, community, peers, that is the key. The students should be held to standards and given the resources needed to succeed. I think most importantly is to allow students to feel comfortable by learning about them and their language, culture. That makes a big difference, and it could encourage the student to continue on a journey to learning a new language.